So right now the sun is like going all over the place, and the lighting is gonna be all over the place. But hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get this butterfly eye look. I should call it right, the butterfly eye look. So this tutorial this tutorial I focused mainly on my eyes clearly because I really wanted to take my time and show you guys exactly what I did. I only did one eye because it took me forever, but it was all worthwhile. It was worth it. And I did my face and my hair and everything off camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get straight into the video, straight into the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy. So before I even get into the video, I just want to say I apologize in advance for if the lighting goes in and out, because I like to sit like directly in front of my window to have my ring light in the natural sunlight during the day. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there if the light does go in and out. But to start off, I'm going to be using this Clarity matte palette. So all of these colors, they're all matte colors, none of them are shimmer colors. And I'm going to be taking this brush right here. This is a shading brush, and it's a Real Technique shading brush by Sam and Nick. I don't know if who it by matters, but I just thought I'd put it out there. So the first shade I'm gonna be using, as you guys can see if I wasn't a brush, is this blue shade right here, and this shade is called Enchant. So I'm gonna dip my brush into this shade right here, and then I'm literally gonna pat the color into like my crease. Well, not my crease, like literally right above my crease, but under my eyebrow. So I'm taking my mirror, and that's what I'm gonna show you guys that I'm doing right now. So I'm literally patting the color like right above my crease. It's gonna get into my crease. The first time I did it on the other eye, which I did it on the other eye first because I didn't know how it's gonna come out, but I kind of like, I'm gonna focus above the crease because the color doesn't need to be in the crease. So that's what I'm doing right now. I hope you guys could see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna pat the color, and I'm taking it slightly towards my nose, not too much. And I should have brushed the brush off first because I'm getting more fallout than usual. So I'm gonna do is take my finger to rub that out a little bit. So I'm gonna keep going into the palette to build up the color and pat the color. So what I'm now gonna do also is I'm gonna keep patting the color, and I'm gonna start taking the color outwards. In order to get that butterfly effect, I'm gonna start dragging the color outwards, just like that. And then I'm just gonna pat on top of the shade. And the way I did this eye is going to be slightly different from how I do this eye, only because with this eye I had trial and error, so now I can know and I can see what does and what does not work in order to get this butterfly effect. So just keep building up the color, because in case you guys are not using the exact palette that I'm using, or you know, if your color is not as intense, you just build up the color to your liking. So this is pretty good for me. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my Tarte concealer. This is the creaseless concealer in the shade 40 in Tan, and this is the same concealer that I use to prime my lids and also shape my eyebrows. So I'm gonna take the concealer, and I'm gonna, it's just like cutting a crease, but the crease is obviously where I cut is gonna be higher. So I'm gonna start, I don't, if you guys can see the blue, it doesn't go all the way down, so I'm not gonna cut the crease all the way too low. I'm gonna cut it higher just so the blue isn't going all the way into the color. So I'm gonna start cutting it. like I said, I don't want it to be a cut crease. I want it to be higher. So I'm cutting it higher, and then, oh, I just made it go into my hair, but that's okay. Then I gave it that, like, that eyeliner wing. If you guys can see how it curves, that eyeliner wing kind of effect, like so. But I'm gonna end up fixing it anyways. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cut it more, just so that I could get the exact effect that I want later. So you see, I cut it more, so the blue stops right there. Then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take more of the concealer. I'm gonna pat the concealer down, just so that I know where to blend and where to start my next color. So looking at my eye, I actually feel like more blue is showing on this side. So I'm gonna go back in and just cut the crease, just, or cut the line just a little bit more. Yeah, just like this. Next thing that I'm going to do, I am going to take this brush. Actually doesn't have a name. No, it does. It's a Wet n Wild brush. It's a Wet n Wild flat brush. I'm gonna take this Wet n Wild flat brush, and I'm just gonna pat this concealer out. The shade that the concealer and the eyeshadow gave is like a aqua green color. Shade is actually really, really beautiful. Like, I wish, shoot, this color, I don't know if you guys see, color is really, really pretty actually. Maybe I'll do a look where I use the blue and the concealer to get a wet look. That would be a good idea, right, y'all? See, the sun just went down a little bit, so my lighting changed. So I'm just turning my brightness up. Oh my god, look. Wow, that blue is so pretty. I'm really, really, nah, this blue is so nice. Wow. Wow. It's, wow. Like, wow. Just wow. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm taking another Wet n Wild brush. And this Wet n Wild brush is actually like a flat, fluffy brush, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go back into the palette, and I'm going to use this purple shade right here called Ego. I'm going to dip the brush, and then I'm going to start patting that onto where I put the concealer. However, I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to go all the way up to where the concealer is cut. I'm going to go just a tiny bit below it. If you guys can see where I'm doing a tiny bit below it. Just not too much below, but I'm not going all the way up. And then I'm going to drag it out just a little bit. Not all the way, and I'm going to just start filling this in. Just to see the line of where I want to cut it. Next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to take my NYX eyeliner. This is the Vinyl Liquid Liner. And I am going to, let me show you guys. I'm going to draw the line that would be the butterfly wings. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take the liner, and I'm going to draw the line. You guys can see how I did that. I'm just drawing a regular, like as if it was basically a wing. I'm drawing the line. Yes, okay. I thought I messed up for a minute. So I'm drawing the line. also going to start drawing the top line just to create it as like a guideline for myself. Boom. Then I connected the two lines. I hope you guys saw what I did. It's basically just following, creating a wing line and then following the line of where the concealer cut it. And I'm also just going to keep following that line through of the concealer. Following the line of the concealer through. And I'm going to drag that line to the end of the concealer. Just like that. Drag it to the end of the concealer. So now that the line is created, now I know exactly where to stay in the line, so I don't go outside the line regarding like the outward part right there. So just like that, this line is good for me. So I'm gonna go back in with the purple eyeshadow and the eyeshadow brush that I was using. I'm gonna fill it in. Remember, don't go all the way high. And we're not going to go all the way high because, as you guys can see, we have two other colors to work with. Just filling in the eye like normal. You can just pat the concealer, keep going into your palette to get more eyeshadow, build up the color also. So that's just what we're doing here. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this smaller flat brush. I'm not sure where this brush is from, but I'm going back into the palette. And that yellow shade right there in the corner, it's called Tweety. I'm going to use that yellow shade. I'm going to dip this brush in, and exactly where the concealer, where I didn't fill in the concealer on my eye, is where I'm going to start putting the yellow shade. So I thought that this was gonna work, but it's not really working the way that I want it to work. So what I'm gonna do is take this flat brush. This is also a mini flat brush. I'm not sure where this brush is from either, but using the concealer, I have put some on the flat brush, just like concealer that's like on the outside and stuff like that. And I'm gonna, going inside where the liner is, I'm just gonna pat the brush to create basically the line and the guideline for where I want the next shade to go. And the next shade is going to be the yellow shade. So that's what I'm doing for that. Just going to keep going back in with the concealer just to create the line for it. And remember, when you're creating these lines, to still follow like the butterfly effect. So you still want to make sure that when you're creating the lines, you're giving yourself the pointiness of the line in order to have that butterfly effect. So you want to remember to do that. This line is also going to be like a little mini wing in also by using a concealer, because you can't just use the shadow, at least for me, I can't just use the shadow because it is a yellow color and you want the purple to show, but you also want the yellow to show. So you want to use concealer just like as a base, just like when you regularly apply your eyeshadow. So that's what we just used the concealer for, to cut the purple color and also use it as a base. So now that that is done, I can now go back in with the brush, go back in with the yellow, and exactly where we put the concealer is where we're gonna pat the yellow down. See, I did my eyebrows off camera because this tutorial I wanted it to just be mainly about the eyes. So everything else is gonna be either not included or I'm gonna be going through it very, very fast. So like I said, just patting that yellow onto where the concealer was placed. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go back in with this eyeshadow brush and back in with the purple. And as you guys see, the purple goes more out into the eye, so I'm just gonna fill that in to make the purple go more out into the eye so that there's less of the other colors. Just like that. Now I'm gonna take the same eyeliner I told you guys about before, and I'm gonna create that line again, being that the eyeshadow went over the line. Creating the butterfly ring effect. So I'm gonna keep going into the liner, and the liner is just working as basically like a guideline, you can say. Because my hair goes so far down, you know, I couldn't make it go all the way out, but you guys are gonna get the gist, the point of what we're doing here. So again, using the eyeshadow, now I'm gonna start to work on the bottom. Now we're not done with the top, but I'm just gonna start to work on the bottom. So as you guys can see, the line, it goes out, right? So we're gonna take this, gonna make a line going out, then we're gonna make it connect. In order to have the butterfly wing effect. Now, I'm not good at geometry, so my lines may not be exact, but you guys are gonna understand. You guys are gonna get the gist of what we're doing here, right? Yeah, I'll try and fix it just a little bit for y'all. Yeah, that's much better. Much, much better, right? Much, much better. So it's okay that we messed up because, as you guys can see, it's all about filling it in, building on the color, so it's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill in the bottom with purple. So I'm gonna start by showing you guys what I'm doing, but I'm also just gonna kind of speed through this part because it's really self-explanatory. So I'm literally just taking the same purple eyeshadow, I'm patting it in. On the same way at the top, we didn't go all the way to the top. Again, trial and error, I realized that might as well not go over to the bottom because I'm gonna build a color there. So that's what we're gonna do now. Just going back in with the liner, and I realized I didn't create my line all the like as close to the eye as this one, so I'm just gonna kind of fix that a little bit, just like that. Just extended the line a little bit. Now again, I'm just gonna keep filling in the purple and building on it to make the color darker, more vibrant kind of thing. So looking at how I did the eye, this one is more a round shape, while this one is more. So I'm gonna see if I could fix it. I'm gonna like, try and fix the line a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the line. So I'm redrawing the line and the outline. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. So to fix that, I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and like all under the line, I'm gonna just wipe that off. I'm using the Neutrogena makeup wipes, if you guys wanted to know. And just like that, we have a whole new line, y'all. Whole new line. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically do the exact same steps that we did to the top to the bottom of the eye. So using that concealer, the same colors and everything like that is what we're gonna do to the bottom. I'm gonna kind of speed through this, but at the same time still like explain what I'm doing. So again, using the concealer as a guideline, that's how we're gonna get that purple. Just like that. So I'm gonna kind of let the concealer dry out a little bit. So while that's drying out, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take another flat brush and I'm gonna go into the blue, the enchant color that we had used before, and I'm gonna place more of the color above the wing in order to get that kind of effect right there. And my eye shapes are slightly different, which is why like it's not gonna look to the T, because actually under here has more space than under here, but that is perfectly fine. So next thing I'm gonna do, take another brush. This is the Equals Tool brush, the Petite eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna take this Milani 03 Rose Glow highlighter palette, and I'm gonna use this shade right here. This shade is called Pearl, so use the lightest shade, and I'm gonna put that under my brow bone. And I'm gonna drag that to the tail of my eyebrow. It kind of got my eyebrows a little bit, but you know, that's okay. Again, I don't have as much space on this side as I do on that side, so you know, that's why it looks a little bit different, but it's fine. Go back in with the brush just to fix the blue a little bit. Wash my hands with soap and I go. So that is good. This brush name, but it's another flat brush. It's actually an eyebrow brush, but I'm gonna use it for the eyeliner. So I'm gonna take that same cavity palette, and I'm using this black shade. I'm showing you guys this black shade right here in the corner. This shade is called Disturbia. Take that, and the line that I created at the top, I'm just gonna pack the black onto it to get what you call it, to get a, excuse the fire trucks in the background, it's very rude. I'm gonna wait till they pass. So what I'm doing is just packing the black onto the line to make the black line a little bit thicker, just like the other side. So now that that's done, I'm also going to do the same thing to the bottom, following the line that I drew with the eyeliner, just packing the color on. Just like that. I'm gonna go back with the small brush and the concealer. I'm gonna just kind of fix that a little bit to make it sharper. Then I'm gonna take the pointy brush again, going back in with the enchant color. Actually, yeah, correct. Going back in with the enchant color, and where I put the concealer, I'm gonna put that enchant color. Just like so. Now where I put the concealer for the bottom part of the wing, the butterfly wing, is where I'm going to put the next color. So I'm using this, also don't know the name of it, brush, but it's another flat skinny pointy brush. And obviously going into the palette again, I'm going to use that orange shade at the bottom next to the yellow, and that shade is called Vegas. I'm getting eyeshadow all over me, but it's okay. And I'm patting that orange into where the concealer is. So you guys, I'm going to show you guys a little bit, and then I'm going to just speed through it. This tutorial is very time consuming, but I also don't want it to be too long. So same thing I did to the top. I'm literally just patting it right on top of where the concealer was. Boom, that's done. So now what I'm gonna do, going back in with the purple and the purple brush, I'm just gonna fix the line. I'm gonna go back in just to make the line of both the orange and the purple more straighter. So I'm just filling wherever the line may have got messed up, or where there was eyeshadow fallout, you know, stuff like that. So now what I'm gonna do, going back in with that eyebrow brush and the black color, and I'm just gonna darken in the black line. Boom, that is done. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna go back into the palette, and I'm going to use this light green color right here. That color is called Wicked. And I'm going to take another flat skinny brush. I'm going to place that color on the outside bottom of the butterfly wing. The exact same thing that I did to the top. When I was doing the outside is what I am going to do to the bottom. Boom, just like that. I hope you guys can see what I did because I realized I was kind of far from the camera, but I'm gonna build on this color just a little bit just to make it show a little bit more until you mess up, you know, you just go back with the colors that you was working with to fix it or whatever. Boom. Next, what I'm gonna do is taking these beauty supplies store rhinestones that I had. I'm gonna just take one of them, and the same way it's in the corner of that eye, I'm just gonna place it in the corner of the next eye. Can't really see with my nails, but boom, placed in the corner of the next eye. So as you guys can see, like the turquoise kind of color is still there, and I really don't want to have to work with makeup over there. So what I'm concealer brush that I was using and the concealer, places some on my hand, and then I'm gonna just show you guys how I'm gonna line up the colors, and then when I do my makeup, I'll, you know, actually fix all of that when I do my makeup. So now I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup because if I do that on camera, this video would just be way too long. But you guys can see how the eyes are looking for now. So yes, I'm gonna go finish my makeup and then I'm gonna come back, show you guys the whole look all together. Thank you guys for watching. You can see this is the finished look. This is the finished product, and I think I did pretty good. I think it came out pretty nice. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, comment any other tutorial ideas you guys want me to try and